Anastasia Gusman, Hummingbird Health Synergy. This will be another Koga video. Koga, again, is a movement meditation. As with all the videos, I say that these are building instructional videos, so please start at the beginning. And if you've been with me since the beginning, you've been with me this long, this means that you've been liking it, and that is great. I love Koga because it's a way to reconnect with movement and the joy of movement and how wonderful it is to be able to move our bodies. So many of us that have chronic illnesses or chronic injuries have lost the ability to enjoy moving our bodies because we're always trying to force it to be something that it's not. And when we force it, it hurts, and we spend our exercise feeling miserable or in pain, and that's not movement. Koga is about reconnecting how wonderful it is to move. This video will be like others in the fact that we're not doing a full-on standing exercise. This is ideal for people that maybe can't do that. Not that it can't be enjoyed by the most fit, but it's really for people that can't get up and just do whatever is the fad right now. So if you're somebody that can get yourself to the floor, then get yourself to the floor, because this exercise will be done laying down. So if you can lay down, you can probably start doing this exercise. So join me down here on the floor. And get yourself situated with your knees slightly apart. And again, we're still now in this one, since we are laying down, we don't have to worry about supporting our spine, much less risk of injury there, but we still want to drop into the body. So just close your eyes and feel the floor supporting you. Feel the sensation on the backs of your arms, the back of your head, the back of your shoulder blades, your lower back. Feel the force of the floor pushing up on your body. And just relax into that. Melt into it. Feel like you're a wet towel tossed on hot pavement. And just feel that full support. And now, today we're going to be focusing in and exploring in the muscles in the upper thighs, in the butt, and also still the lower abs, because this is all fair game when you're lying on the floor. And we'll just be exploring some of the muscle groups and the different ways to explore it. I said this before, but in Koga I alternate between different things, and I alternate between massaging the body, but I also alternate between, sometimes I'm in a muscle, like my consciousness is in a muscle and I'm just exploring a range of motion, or I'm just exploring a stretch or a burn or a rotation, and sometimes that's all there is. And then after I've fully explored and reconnected with all the million exquisite ways that we can move, you know, then I'll definitely just drop into the music. And then that's when you just have that expressive dance component. So I definitely flow in and out of those. Obviously these videos are more about the exploration because I realized that I had missed out on so much. We have over 600 muscles in the human body, and I was using a fraction of them consciously. So lift yourself up and explore the emotion of lifting up your pelvis, but just from these muscles, just from right in here. And you can lift yourself up just using that muscle. And now move a little to the left and see how that changes. For me, it lights up right to the sides. And now shift just a little bit to the right and do the same motion, lifting up, and again, now it moves over here. And just explore that whole, you know, all those different muscles to the sides that we don't use. So many exercises, but you know, we just do this lockstep 90-degree up, down, forever. Why? There's so much going on over here to the left. There's so much going on over here to the right, and we're missing this. So again, getting down into here and try to focus in. So we're working on that bottom side, exploring to the right and feeling it out here, exploring to the left. And now try to explore the inner thigh. You can almost, now that immediately cramps up for me. So it's like, good, I found it. But now work it out. Like if it doesn't, you'll know if it's too much. So stretch it out, do what you gotta do. So I'll work that out and then go back to it. So I'm trying to use that inner thigh, the lower inner thigh to kind of lift up. And now over here, I use the lower right thigh, but inside, you know, lifting up. You can almost sink right into the really inner thighs, like center inner thigh. Try lifting in from this muscle right here. And then start lifting in from this muscle right here. And now you can do the same thing, and let's go up to the top. You know, we can lift ourselves from these muscles up here, the top and the pelvis and the top there. We could do that, and we could do that 90 degrees forever, right? But let's go to the, over here. Shift to the left and lift, and shift to the right and lift. And you know, like for me, that lights up somewhere down up here. Like it totally changes. Now see, that one cramped up a little bit. So stretching out whatever feels right for you, stretching it out, working it out, because again, we don't want that stagnation. So now, after I've woken those all up, then I like to try to make a slow circle. And this is another one of those good exercises to find your sticky bits, because they'll be, you want to challenge yourself, because you don't want to go so far that you're not controlling it at all. But you do want to challenge yourself. So obviously I can make a circle that's about 1 inch in diameter, right? And that is using some muscles, different muscles. And even that, if I make a circle that's 1 inch in diameter, let's say you go to the bottom, to the right, to the top, to the left, to the bottom. Now reverse, left, up, right, bottom. Isn't it ironic and baffling how it's so hard to go slower? And now lift up a little bit more, and all this should be lit up now, but in a good way. We don't want the cramping, rub those out, but it's like lit up in this way that I'm exquisitely aware of all the choices I have. So many different ways that I can move. So now just really, you know, stretch out. Like you use your muscles to stretch the ranges of motion. You know, I'm bringing my pelvis up, or I'm bringing my hip out, or I'm bringing this hip out, or up, or straight up. And really use the muscles alone to just expand all the motion and explore all the motion. And there's so many different ways, and it honestly feels so good and so fluid, because we don't allow these pieces, the fluid movement that allows all those byproducts and waste and toxins to flow out of there. And that's why exercise is so important for our health. This movement is lymphocyzing our body, and it's allowing us to clear out toxins. So even if we can't get up and run a mile, we can still get toxins flushed out. So now might want to take a break. Might want to rub out anything that doesn't feel good, or even your lower back by now might be, because even if you can't lift up, I guess I should have maybe started there, but if you can't lift up yet, or you know, like you could just do it a little bit. Like I can keep my tailbone, so right here down in my back is down. But now I'm just constricting this. So the back is still fully released. And now I can just constrict. There's two different ways to do this too. Like you can actually, there's a muscle right here that you can pull in. Like it's like you're pulling your pelvis towards your chin. Like the pelvis bone towards your chin. Like I can pull up that way. Or I can be contracting these muscles back here and contracting all that in. So there's a whole lot of exploration in different muscles that you can work on, even if you can't lift up your torso yet. But since we were doing with it raised, that too may be tight. So flexibility in the spine is so important. So to the extent that you can, these spinal rotations, I'm addicted to them. I can't imagine a day where I don't get to do them. But obviously you may not be able to go this far, but that's okay. But they are great. And the other, like, so when I stretch, I also bring the shoulder slowly around, because then that gets a complete rotation along the spine. But I do it because it feels awesome. I don't do it because it rotates my spine. It feels so good. And it's so good for your spine to be more flexible, because flexibility is what allows us to have fun in life. Okay, so you can also do the other ideas when you're down here is, again, if you don't want to lift up this part, this is still free to be moved. So you can start out doing ankle exercises. Maybe you have an ankle injury and you can't put all your weight on them. You can absolutely start doing ankle exercises, and all it's holding is this much weight. These bones in your lower leg, that's all the weight that's on it. So it's enough to, if you keep at it enough, to work on it. And for me, ankles are another perfect example of what is up with the way we exercise, right? Like we get on a step and we just do up, down, up, down. It's like the world is not 90 degrees up and down. This is how twisted ankles happen. So when I work out my ankles, I try to explore the range of motion, and I'm stretching in to, and my ankles are cracking, but that's because that's what they do. They always have. I'm not forcing anything, but I'm just exploring it, and I'm stretching the tops of my feet, but not just on the top. It's like I'm rotating to the left, I'm rotating to the right, and out here, like I'm rotating in and out and flexing all my toes. I'm working in my big toe to my little toes, my big toe to my little toes, and rolling the ankles out, rolling the ankles in, because that's what happens when you step off something when you're not expecting it. And if you've never used that range of motion before, and now you've fallen into it by accident, of course that's an injury. But if we, under ginger and delicate controlled conditions, explore that, then we're building up all those connective tissues that we need so much. So you can definitely, so I'm already feeling some burn down here in my ankle just from doing this. And you can just do some pushing off of the floor. That starts to work the knee in a gentle way. And you can bring your legs out. That's an interesting one too, because if you just bring your legs out, you can really work different muscles in the backs of your legs and things like that. So this is, again, just keeping those down. Obviously, all worlds start opening up when you start to be able to lift up your legs and do things. But even just keeping your feet on the floor is a basic exercise. So now that all that's lit up, then if you want to just drop into the music, then that's when you go and do your own free form. You know, you maybe start stepping left and right. Just start feeling the music. Again, put on your own jam. But you can, you know, I'm swiveling up and right, I'm swinging, I'm moving up and down. and you really get your abs into it, and you get your whole little upper leg into it. And then of course you can add your arms, because I started doing that by accident. And here I have a whole body exercise. And if I have a balance issue or a leg injury of any kind, I can still enjoy moving and enjoy dance and enjoy expression without having to do something that my body doesn't like. So I hope this has been relaxing, enjoyable. I hope you're starting to feel how good it feels to get just this flow and this expansion into all of our million ways that we can move. That's what I love about it. Alright, well, feel free to like this video or let me know in the comments if you're loving Koga. Thanks for joining with me, and I will see you again next time.